watch Tucker Carlson come. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Every day, I think this guy, this guy's ability to say anything and to say what he knows is absolutely BS. There's just no way that Tucker doesn't realize this is just a complete and utter just sack of like, it's amazing to watch this guy. He's talking about the Colonial Pipeline being shut down because of a hack, essentially, that is supposedly perpetrated by this dark, I can't remember what it's called, dark side or something like that, this hackers group.
I'm not sure, but we've talked about the possibility of these incidents happening more and more often on the show before. Yeah.
But I also want to just remind you that Colonial Pipeline was involved in what has been one of the largest leaks of a pipeline in North Carolina. It happened, I think it was last August, and it was discovered by some kids riding up their bikes. And so it's bubbling up out of the ground. And understand, this pipeline is like 3 or 4 feet underneath. So if it's bubbling up, the saturation is just out of control. And Colonial never was aware of this until it was reported by these people. In other words, their sensor system is horrible. If you're losing that much gas or oil, that it bubbles up, because we all know that gravity doesn't work that way. If it bubbles up, it gets so saturated that it's actually percolating out of the ground. And your sensors don't pick up on that. And it is turning out to be what appears to be like one of the biggest leaks of one of these pipelines in the country. And so understand, like, when we start talking about pipelines that are going to run through, near water sources or tribal lands, their technology to even detect a leak, never mind prevent one, is super suspect.
Well, the pipeline runs from like Houston to Newark, basically, like just across the entire country.
It goes all the way up the East Coast.
Hopefully the market just provides for a competitor to put another pipeline right next to it just to compete and be a little bit safer. But anyway.
Here is Tucker Carlson, though, saying that this shutdown of gas, and there's runs on gas essentially in some areas in the Southeast, is exactly what the Biden administration wants.
What is this about? Well, on some level, let's be honest about it, the White House approves of this disaster. Yes, some gas stations are closed tonight, but soon enough, the lunatics plan to close all of them. Close every gas station in the entire United States, shut it forever, to make way for some new, as yet not quite defined means of transportation that will magically replace the gasoline engines that we have used for more than 100 years. This is a green revolution, so who cares about some old pipeline?
First off, like, how stupid are the people that watch him? Like, did he record this like 35 years ago? Like, can you imagine what kind of newfangled cars we're going to have? Like cars that actually could plug into electrical outlets and be powered by electricity? My God, who could imagine such a thing?
Tucker in the late 70s going, or the 60s saying, they're going to get rid of your leaded fuel. They want to get rid of your leaded fuel.
And we don't know how they're going to replace it. They're going to replace it with some type of magic pixie dust. I mean, he's talking like the plan is like, we're going to get rid of gas stations and then we're just going to wing it.
Well, I mean, this is part of the, I guess, bottom rung of Fox News talking points. Remember, I mean, was it Steve Doocy on Fox and Friends who basically said that there would be no longer any gas stations when he wanted to road trip across America because they would all be electric stations. I mean, that's never going to happen. That's not going to be the case. But when they're really scraping for some sort of scandal, this is where they go, I guess. I guess it made it all the way up to Tucker's show.
Can you imagine being someone who rails about climate change, or even acknowledges climate change, or laments that we don't have a Green New Deal yet, and then going on this guy's show, because that's basically what he's doing. That's it, right? Like, he's not informing people of anything real. He's not even he's barely informing them what happened to this pipeline. It is really just somehow an excuse to say, like, this is the vision, where you have gas shortages and no other way to power your vehicle that the administration has. All this does, that segment, 100% of its purpose is to undermine the ability to move to renewable energies in this country. Period. End of story. There's nothing else of value. It's all fiction that is completely designed to doing this. This would be the functional equivalent of a guy getting up there going like, there's no cigarettes for kids anymore. I guess they're just going to have to. I mean, it's like he is it's supposed to give you cancer, but yet I know somebody who smokes cigarettes and don't have cancer. I wonder why that is. Wonder why no one's telling us how that's possible.
I'm just asking questions.
I mean, it is, what a effing unbelievable, just